Yeah. You know what it is. We back. We back. I know what you're thinking. Damn. Brandon's late again. He was on time last week or close to on time. Was on time? I was close.
Yes.
I was super close, right?
You were actually on time.
I was on time last week. I just hopped off the plane. Just hopped off the jet. Just touched down. Straight to the pod. You know what I'm saying? So I was 11 minutes late, man. But you got to blame that. You got to blame that on the Department of Aviation, not me. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the podcast. Yeah. This is exciting. We are back at it. You know what it is. Man. This is Victory Talk. The only podcast 100% devoted to helping you build your money, muscle, mindset. You know what I'm saying? Help you get right out here. Yeah. Little bit late, man. That's because I just hopped off the jet, man. I just touched down. You know what I'm saying? It was my son's first day of school. So I had to fly down there, man. Take my black son to school for the first day, man. Starting first grade. You know what I'm saying? So I had to usher him into to his new level of higher learning. You know what I'm saying? He's elevated. Same thing I want y'all to do, man. I'm here to help y'all learn some shit. After helping my black son learn something today. Now it's time to take y'all to school. You know what it is. We got a bunch of shit to talk about today, man. But first, obviously, a word from our sponsor. This may come as a surprise to some of you. But this episode of Victory Talk is sponsored by Thot Repellent. That's right. The good people at Thot Repellent. They're sponsoring this episode. And listen, every one of your super chats goes to research and development for Thot Repellent. You might be thinking, oh, I love the Thots. I want more Thots, right? You might be out here thought hunting. It's because you're not a G yet. But once you join our free Discord, start checking out the free courses I put together in there to help you get some of this fucking money. Free fitness courses, free mindset courses, free money getting courses, all in there. Well, shit, man, you're going to be balling and shot calling in no time. You know what happens? A lot of people don't talk about this. Once you start balling and shot calling, goddamn hoes are going to try to stop you. Yeah. They're going to start to stop you and fuck your whole shit up. Think about the countless ballers who fell victim to these thoughts. Let's talk about the first one. The very first victim, Adam, from Adam and Eve in the Bible. Chapter 1 is how the book starts. And it's the word of God. It's not me. It's the word of God. Adam was balling. He had everything he needed. God was like, yo, Adam, this is how my God talks, right? This is my relationship with God. This is how my God talks. Hey, yo, Adam, look here, player. Do whatever you want, man. I ain't even tripping. Just don't fuck with these apples. And Adam was like, hey, yo, look here, man. I ain't even tripping off them apples, man. Don't even trip, fam. I got you. And God was like, all right. And then what happened? Goddamn Thot, the first Thot. How we know she was a Thot, Eve? Because she was talking to other guys. To the snake. Snake convinced her to convince Adam. No, the snake convinced her to use her vagina to get Adam to eat the apple. I'm paraphrasing. I'm assuming that's how it went down, right? Next thing you know, Adam's eating the apple. Now we all got to have jobs and wear clothes. All right. Had Adam had the Thot repellent, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have had to worry about that. He was the first baller to fall, right? I don't want that to happen to you. We got guys out here catching Me Too's. We got guys out here, you know what I'm saying, getting divorced, losing half their money. We got guys out here, chicks getting guys pregnant. I mean, guys getting, chicks getting, know what I meant, man. You know what I meant. Chicks getting pregnant, trying to steal a ball, trying to, you know what I meant. You're going to need some of this. You're going to need some of this. You got to stay on the path, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on the path. Hey, if you find you a good woman, then you definitely need the Thot Repellent. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, my girlfriend is a insane Dominican. See, you know, mi gente muy peligroso. Right? She be like, her Thot Repellent is her resting kill face. You know what I'm saying? Every time a girl's around, you know what I'm saying? I have what is called a resting friend face. every time I see me, I'm just happy. But she has a resting kill face. You know what I'm saying? To keep the thoughts. She's my Thot Repellent right now, right? Mm-hmm. But we're trying to come up with something. Stronger for the rest of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is all about, man. That's really what we're doing this here. That's really what we're doing this for. Anyway, that's where all your super chats go to. Yeah. Guys are saying they need the Thot Repellent. I know what's up, man. That's why, hey, your super chats are go to the research and development, the good people at Yeah, man. We out here. Listen, again. Also, Victory Unit Discord, man. We got like 11,000 members right now, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's a conglomerate of ballers and like-minded individuals, man. We getting together to help you ball, man. Free courses in there. We're giving out free advice. I'm in there every day. My whole squad's in there every day. It's the next level, man. Build something special, right? The Victory Unit Discord. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the best fucking course on the internet, and it's free. Baller Mindset. Leave a comment if you went through or started the Baller Mindset course. It's for sure the best shit I've ever put together. It's probably the best shit almost anybody's ever put together. I'm being honest with you. And it's better than the shit you'll pay money for. And it's really going to take you step by step from the beginning, from being a broke motherfucker to a balling motherfucker. Right. And every step in between. Like, I literally take you by the hand and walk you through every step. Leave a comment if you started it. If you in it, let us know, man, because I know a lot of people are in it. But Nima, what the fuck was this episode supposed to be about? It was about
it's gonna be about the productivity tools.
The productivity tools. That's right. I got notes and shit. I prepped for this. Hold up, man. Let me pull something up. Where is it? How I get it, man? Okay. Booyah. I think that's up. Is that good? All right, cool. Yeah, come on, man. Oh shit, I gotta log into this. Okay, one of my tools. One of my tools, I gotta log in. Fuck, because it's not on this computer. It's a new computer. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. They can't see this shit, right? They can't see this shit, man. Do we have any? I think there was a super chat while I'm getting this together. What was a super chat?
We have a lot of super chats.
Oh shit, actually, man. Because I got something I want to get into, but I know if there's a super.
All right, let's start with the comments.
All right.
We have Know Me Homie. Thank you for sharing yourself with the world. Respect.
Pause.
We have Dennis.
You're welcome, bro.
We have Matt. Started 2 businesses and making videos after watching your content. Thank you for everything you do. And last but not least, we have Blackjack with $50 again.
Big Blackjack.
Found how to run Facebook ads without getting banned.
Nice.
I'm creating a lead magnet ebook. Hired a pro to design the cover. What's your advice on testing headlines, image? How many leads per impressions is a good cover title that I should no longer test?
Shit, man. All right, hold on to that question because that's a lot. That's a lot to break down. But I like where your head is at. That is a lot to break down. Right now, I want to get into the productivity hacks. Right now, productivity tools that help you be more productive, help you accomplish more, get more money. And this is going to be in our segment we call Habits of a Winner. I like that intro. Can we get like a gangster? Can we switch up to a gangster sound? Like I want some, like, next time we do it, I want like some gangster shit, like some gangster music. You know what I'm saying? Like some fucking gangster shit next time. If we can change it. It worked. You know, we're just probably, it's been 6 months. It's time to switch it up. All right. Okay. In this video, I want to break down some of the tools I use to become more productive, accomplish more, and most importantly, make more money and accomplish all the goals, right? You know, a lot of times people will say, oh man, how do I do this? Brandon, a lot of times people say stuff to me like, oh, Brandon, you've accomplished so much. You made so much money. You're in amazing shape. You look like the Oscar statue and you balling and shot calling and flexing on us all the time. How do you do it? How can I do it? And a lot of times I just laugh because I'm like, motherfucker, you could never be like me, you know? And the reason why is because they haven't learned the stuff I'm about to teach you. If you do this stuff and use these tools that I'm going to share with you, I promise you, you'll be way more productive. You'll be able to take your life to the next level. You'll accomplish more in the next 90 days than maybe you did in the last 5 years. And that's not an exaggeration. That is not exaggeration at all. Because most of you guys, your lives are a fucking mess. It's all over the place, right? You know, they say people don't fail to plan, they plan to fail. No, people don't plan to fail. They say that people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan, right? And it looked like you guys have mastered failing up until this point because you haven't mastered planning. And I'm gonna give you some tools to help you do that so you can accomplish more, get in better shape, make more money, flex on the haters, and stun on the hoes. All right, so let's get into it. Some of the tools that we are going to use to help facilitate that. All right, so the very first one is Google Calendar. Let me show you my calendar. All right, I'm not going to show you this week because there's some personal shit in here. So I'm going to show you like a week out so you can see what's up. I think this is the week I want to show you. All right. So I hold on. Whatever. This is fine. All right. So I try to plan pretty much every hour each day. All right. So this is what my weekly calendar looks like. And I live out of this thing. Okay. And I'm gonna show you guys how you can set this up. You can see I'm sleep 9:30. Wake up at 4:30. I know, gangster, right? Then I meditation in the morning. Then I practice. I can't really tell you what I'm practicing, but it's some skills that I'm trying to develop. So I deliberately edited that so you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you got to make it for you, right? Practice. Then, you know, cold shower, shave, all this stuff. Then I go on a morning walk. Do that pretty much every morning. That's like my cardio. And it's, you know, I like to go outside, walk along the ocean. Sometimes the dolphins come through. They say, what's up? Dolphins, manatees, other wildlife. They come show me love in the morning. It's pretty dope. All right. Then I do the first workout. Then I eat sardines, right? Because they're delicious and nutritious, right? Then I do my accounting for the business. I still do the accounting for my business. I trade stocks, and then I leave this time open, and I'll have this day planned by the time it comes, right? But these are the recurring tasks. And basically, like my whole shit is planned out. And the night before, there will be no white space on this. You know what I'm saying? Like it will be legit planned out all the way up until like, you know, every workout, everything I got to do, all my meetings, FaceTime my son, blah, blah, blah. Prep for bed, then go to sleep. You can see these are recurring tasks. This is Victory Talk podcast. Like now, like we in it, right? And basically, I have the whole week planned out with the recurring tasks, right? I have my morning tasks, and it's so important that you live out of your calendar. Like most people, they have no idea what they're going to do aside from go to work, or they don't plan out their days. They don't plan out their weeks. They don't plan out their months. And when you start living out your calendar, this is the cheat code to life. Like actually like planning your time. Hold on, let me adjust some of this. Like when you actually start planning your time, it's a cheat code, because what's going to happen is you'll be able to squeeze more life out of each day. Every time I coach someone and they start using their calendar and living out of it, right? Living out of it, they start to accomplish so much more. They wonder how much time. I mean, they start to be amazed at how much time they were wasting up until this point. You know, and I don't want you guys to live like that. I want you to start using your calendar to plan stuff, right? Planning your whole fucking life out of your calendar. Without this, I'm nothing. Like, there's no way I would accomplish what I have accomplished. There's no way I would be where I'm at. There's no way I would have been able to build the businesses, basically anything without Google Calendar, right? And it's the only calendar you should use, right? Don't use any other ones. Google Calendar is the one. It syncs up with your iPhone. Like, don't even use the Apple Calendar, bro. You can sync it if you want, but just download the Google Calendar app. It's perfect, right? And the beauty of this is I have white space open like during the week, right? Now, one of two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to fill it up, or my girlfriend will fill it up with stuff. Or, you know, when she's allowed to go in here and plan stuff for us and put it in the calendar. People on my team are allowed to plan stuff for us if they see white space, you know, and they can actually move a lot of this stuff. They can move everything that's not red, right? So the red stuff, you can't be moved. Like, these are things that have to, but if they need to put some here, they're allowed to move a workout. They're allowed to move the time I call my mom. They're allowed to move the stuff that's not green. I mean, they're allowed to move the stuff that's not purple or red. They're allowed to move it around if they need to. I prefer they didn't, but they're allowed to, right? And we have them do it way in advance, right? So my whole shit is planned out, you know, and you have to be strict with it, though. The difficulty is, you know, where the discipline comes. For example, like my homie Mike Rashid, he called me the other day. He was like, "Yo, I just landed in Miami, man. You work out today?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I worked out." Yeah, bro. fucking at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. or whatever it says here. What time is this? Yeah, man, at fucking 7:30, bro. And he'll call me like in the middle of the day, but like it'll be shit going on. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do it. So you gotta. It is that you have to be more rigid as far as planning stuff in advance. But once you get in the habit of doing that, and then the people around you will either conform or leave your life, you know. And that's what's up. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Google Calendar is the most important thing, right? Now it's going to get more sophisticated as we go on, as we move on. The next tool you want to be using is Trello. Trello is a tool I use and my team uses. So we use it a few different ways. One, can I show them the video board? So my whole team here, we have this video board, where we plan out our videos, right? So we have two editors and they're both working on it. So this is stuff that Harry's working on, this stuff Nima's working on. And then when they have it here, I review it, then it's approved, boom, and then it's published. So you can see like a bunch of it. You might be watching this video on here. No, it's not up yet because we filming it now, right? But you'll see like all the old videos that we posted, boom. And then we go back and see how they performed, the variables on it. But this is really cool. We're working with a team because Nima, you how does this work? How does this help you like with the team as far as like organizing the videos.
So the way it works for me is me and my team. So there are like about 5-6 people that work on every single video at the same time. So time stamping, thumbnail. So what happens is after the episode, there is a card here, which are the videos off of that episode. And those are going to be copied to a different board.
Yeah.
Which is for the internal team of mine. So then I assign, okay, you do time stamping, you do thumbnail, you do the cutting, you do the motion. And then once that's ready, it comes back to the mothership.
So with your team, you got some other shit going on, a whole nother board like this with your team.
Is like,
and Harry has it with his team because my video guys, they have their own team. This is a big fucking production over here, right? But all I see is this. So I can just look at the board. I don't have to ask anybody. I can just be like, hey, that video, where are we at? Where are we at with it? And then when it's here for me to review, boom, I review it. Once I say it's cool, it goes over here approved. And then once it's published, it goes here. You know what I'm saying? And then some videos we put up and we just never put out. You know what I'm saying? We just never put them out for whatever reason. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we focus that with the team. But now the next level is with my personal life. Don't show it yet. Because there's some stuff I don't want them to see. All right. So I edited this before I came on because I removed some stuff so you don't know kind of shit I'm working on. All right, hold on. Don't show me yet. hold on. We're gonna share this with them in a second. Let me just archive that one. All right. So this is what I set up a board where's my goals for the year, right? Or goals for the year, 3 months, certain time. So I moved them all off screen because I don't want you guys over here because I don't want you guys to see what I'm working on because I don't fucking know you motherfuckers, right? But what happens is you can see some of the goals that I have accomplished for the year, right? So boom, moved to Miami, moved my girlfriend to Miami. I edited her name out because you don't want people to know her name. Oh shit. Make over 100K per month, personal income, million YouTube subscribers, get HTT, that's one of my businesses, to 500K per month, get the Richard Mille watch, right? Get my girlfriend fucking Rolex, got her a Rolex for balance. Like, so I just have all my goals here, but how they start here. So you can create these sections in Trello. And what I do, so these are the goals I'm planning. I moved them off screen. So it'll look like this. Let's say I have a goal like, this is just a pretend goal. This is not something I really want to do, right? Just the first thing I can think of, right? Let's say that's a goal I have, right? And and then what I'll do is, right? So it's in the planning stage, right? And then when I go make the plan, I move it to another board. You can take it off real quick, right? So then I go to the one. Well, they can see this shit right now, right? This is my board where I have they can see it. Yeah. There's another board where I have my plans and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So I put my plans and shit over here, and I have this, okay, 4 weeks from now. I don't want you to see everything on here. 4 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, next week, this week, tomorrow, and today, right? What you can see. So with the today one is the most important, right? So I have like the stuff I want to do today, right? You see, this is the only thing left. Then I move it to like in progress. So the things that are in progress now is obviously the podcast. I'm fucking doing it right now, right? I have to do some accounting right after this, and then I have to run payroll for one of my businesses. Cool. Okay, that's only gonna take a minute. And then this is like all the shit I did today, right? So when it's done, I move it over here. Boom, right? But until then, it's here. And then I just keep a running list of shit I got to do. And then I got the shit I need to do tomorrow. I got to get an Airbnb for my nephew. I got to buy tickets for Drake. I got 50 Cent tickets. I got to text a nigga named Clark. I got to do this Google shit. So every time there's something I think of, I got to do. You ever had these things where, oh, I forgot to do the fucking thing, right? That don't really happen to me that much. I'll just put it in here. You know what I'm saying? For example, do the fucking thing. And I know that's some on my list for tomorrow, right? And then, or like maybe I got to do it this week. Right. And this stuff will get moved here, right? Because the homie Fresh from Fresh and Fit, he's supposed to get on the podcast. So tomorrow I'll probably move that over here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Right. Y'all got me fucking up my shit, right? But I'll edit this later, right? And then, you know, I got stuff for next week. So a lot of this stuff's going to get moved to next week. No problem, right? Then I got 2 weeks. I moved some of this stuff out here just because y'all don't see what I'm working on. But I'm thinking like 4 weeks out. So the task for fucking your mama, right? I'll put it like or like, I'll write out everything that has to be done. Fuck that bitch, right? and then I'll plan out when I'm going to do it, right? When I'm going to do each task, right? And then as we get closer, we keep moving it over here. Boom. And then the stuff. So tomorrow, right? Here's what it gets beautiful. Like, let's say I got a book the podcast with Fresh tomorrow. Then I go into Google Calendar, and if this was the day, I would kind of when I'm going to do it. This is where people fuck up. They make a plan, but they don't put when they're going to do it. Right. So let's say this was tomorrow. It's not, but let's just say it was. It was like, okay. Hit up Fresh for Victory Talk. Boom. And that's only going to take what? Fucking 15 minutes to text them. Right. Boom. But I put it in here. Right. So now everything from this list goes in to Google Calendar. Right. That's what and it gets filled up with the white space in the times that it's not that I don't have recurring stuff. Because right, what you see, I'm like 2 weeks ahead when I'm showing you. So this is just all recurring stuff. But the stuff from the plans, they're usually not recurring things. Right. So they're going to get put into these white spaces. I hope this is making sense. Right. And then once we get to the point where it's like, let's say I plan out all the steps to fucking your mama, right? And then then I move that. Oh, then I move that. Okay, it's planned, but that doesn't mean it's in progress yet for me, right? You know, I gotta. Once the first step is in the calendar, then it's like, okay, now it's in progress, and we'll just keep it here until we get there. until this bitch has the best day of her life. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, this is a joke. I wouldn't fuck your mama with my worst enemy's dick. All right. But that's the second tool you need. Google Calendar. You see this? I mean, so it's Trello. You see how this shit is super, like, it gets like more sophisticated. You know? Then the next tool you need to be more productive is Notion. Right. So Notion is something I use to do a lot of my planning. And one of the main ways I use it is I set up a habit tracker in here, right? So when you're setting a goal, there's usually two types of tasks, right? You're going to have your, which one is that? No, hold on. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong year. Just bear with me for a minute, guys. Don't worry about it. All right. When you set up a goal, there's usually two types of tasks that you're going to have to do when you're planning on a goal. You're going to have recurring tasks and you're going to have one-time tasks. For example, if your goal is to build 10 pounds of muscle, right? A one-time task will be get gym membership, right? Or hire a coach, right? The recurring tasks, that's usually where most of the success is going to come from. Most of the success is going to come from your recurring tasks or a return. So an example of a recurring task would be work out X amount of days per week, track macros every day, get 7 hours of sleep, whatever, right? The success in life comes from the recurring tasks. And it's super important that you track it. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. So what I do is I use Notion and I set up just a simple habit tracker. They have actually templates in Notion for free, and you just edit them. And this is one, I'm gonna show you one from August of last year, just because I don't want you guys to know the shit that I'm up to now, right? Because it's a secret. So what I set up certain things to track, and I track them every day, right? So I track, all right, did I work out today? Boom. Did I meditate? I meditate twice a day, right? 20 minutes each session. Track my macros, 7 hours of sleep. That's the next thing we're going to talk about, mint.com, right? But I track all my finances in mint.com. Basically, every dollar spent, every fucking cent spent, and every dollar that comes in, boom. And I just categorize them in.com, do that every day. Flex pitch, I can't tell you what it is, but it's something that's made me a lot of money. Practicing Spanish. We're going to come back to that. Studying. I got to study 60 to 90 minutes a day, right? Work on content, because that's, got to do it every day if you want to be if you want to be a social media maverick like me, right? Have 1 million followers on how many social medias is it now? Okay. We know it's YouTube. We know it's Instagram. We know it's Facebook. About 300,000 on TikTok. And the TikTok's the newest one. It's like, that kind of shit don't happen on accident, motherfucker. Right? Time with my girlfriend, Minovia, mucho caliente. Right? And so I track, I want us to have a loving, successful relationship. So I track all this shit. Right? And then what it does is it adds it up, right? So the percentage of days I hit these numbers, right? So let's look at it. Boom. I worked out for this month. I worked out 87% of the time, right? That's not bad at all, right? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you like some rest days. I kind of just rest when life makes me. And, if sometimes life gets in the way, or you just need it, right? So I didn't rest. I didn't work out 100% of the days. That's fine. I meditated in the morning 96% of the time. That's what's up. I meditated in the PM 81% of the time. That's what you saying. You do that, you're gonna be cool, super calm, collective like me. This is why I'm so much cooler than you, right? Tracking my macros, right? 100% of the time. I don't fuck around with that. If you're not tracking, you slacking, right? Actually tracking my macros and calories every day. We're going to get back to that, but this is like super important. Tracking the amount of time I sleep each night. Boom. Did I get at least 7 hours? Right. Okay, cool. I did it 75% of the time. Not bad. Tracking money in mint.com. Did that almost every day. Boom. Did the flex pitch almost every day. Look at the Spanish. Yeah. Yo hablar un poquito español. Coño cabeza para inglés. Mucho peligroso ejercicio. Abdominales. So you see, my Spanish is pretty good, but it can be better, right? Studying. You see how much I study, right? That's why, I really read these books behind me, right? Working on content, time with my girlfriend, you know what it is. Average. I changed this one to average as opposed to percentage checked. You can do that, right? And I averaged 3.5 hours a day. How do you spend so much time with your girlfriend? It's in the calendar, bro. That was step one, man. Catch up, motherfucker, right? And this is super important because now we have data. You get what I'm saying? Now we have data to make decisions on. Like, you can't go by how you feel about shit, right? Because your feelings can change from moment to moment. We got to really look at the data, and you got to run your life like a business. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it. So we have real data, and we can make decisions based off data. And that's how you can keep evolving. You can keep optimizing. I hope this is making sense, right? And next, let me get back to it. Oh, you know what else we use Notion for? So me and my girl, we set this up. We have a database of our favorite restaurants. And so we categorize them by city, what neighborhood they're in, the type of restaurants, what meals they serve, and then how much we liked it, the price, the attire. So like anytime somebody asks us, hey, was the music good? Did they have hookah? She's Dominican, They love that shit. I saw a Dominican motherfucker, no bullshit. I saw a Dominican dude riding around Dykeman with the hookah in his car. Hot coals in the car. He ride around smoking hookah. Hey, man. And the Dominican cops just let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't even care. But anyway, this is like super, this is the way we organize shit. I can click this and I can see cities. So, hey man, what's a good city in Chicago? We haven't really filled out the New York one yet, because we started this when we moved to Miami, but we were just in Chicago. So all the restaurants we went in Chicago, we ranked them. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Miami ones all up in. There's tons of them here in Miami. you let us know, man. We got to build this out. We a little behind because we were just in Vegas, but basically every city. Our plan is to have a database of the best restaurants in every city in America, every real city. All right, we're not going to be in fucking Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, they don't get a fucking, they don't get their own tab. Right. But I use Notion to organize a lot of stuff in my life. But the main thing is the habit tracker. Right. All right. Let me go back to this. Man. What's the next? Give you the next tool. Sorry, I got to go. I'm actually planning this episode. All right. Okay. The next one is an app called Hours, where I track the hours I spend doing stuff, right? So I have a few things that are important to me, and I just track how much time I spend working on those things, right? Because to get good at something, well, to be an expert, they say it takes 10,000 hours, right? To become an expert in something. But I have another theory on this. Let me open something for you. This is important. Where is it? Okay. Give me a second. Oh. All right. Actually, I got it. All right. So I track the hours I spend on different things that I'm trying to get good at or things that are important to me because we have a whole episode about this, right? If it takes 10,000 hours to become like world class, one of the best in the world or something, you can get like pretty good at anything with like 1,000 hours. And here's a chart that'll show how long it'll take to get to each level of mastery based off how many hours you spend practicing each of these things per day, right? And there's a few things that I'm trying to get 1,000 hours of practicing, right? There's a few things I'm trying to get 1,000 hours of practicing, or at least 100, right? If you get 100, you're like not bad. You don't suck at the thing, right? So there's a few things, every month I try to get. Honestly, every month I try to. Every few months I try to master something else. So not master, but get really good at something else, like good at something, right? Every few months, right? Or at least every year, right? So there's a few things that I'm working on, right now. And I think this is how like I got good at so many things. Like people are like, Brandon, you're so good at public speaking. You're good at making content. You're a fitness expert. I heard you used to build computers. Yeah, I build computers. I used to build websites, man. I play guitar really well. If you look up Brandon Carter guitar covers, I used to play guitar like really good, like badass. But it was all like tracking the hours I spend on it. And I use an app called Hours to do it. And just when I'm working on a thing, I just track it on my phone. Or when I'm studying, right? And in addition to that time being in my calendar too. So it's just an easy way to add it up, right? Then I'm not showing it now because it's charging, but the Aura Ring, this is a tool I use because the Aura Ring is so dope because it tracks my sleep automatically, right? So when I showed you that chart of how many hours I got of sleep I got every night, just because I'm in bed doesn't mean I'm asleep, right? Doesn't mean I actually feel asleep. So I track my sleep and the quality of my sleep every night. And Aura Ring does that for me automatically, right? But it also tracks the amount of calories I burn each day, right? The Aura Ring tracks the amount of calories that I burn each day, right? And if you're trying to get in shape, you kind of need that, right? Because everybody knows this. If you want to lose fat, it's calories in, calories out. You got to burn more calories than you consume. But how do you know how many calories you burn if you don't track it, right? So I use the Aura Ring in order to accomplish that. You could use the Apple Watch. But you know, man, listen, man, I upgraded my watch game to the Richard Mille, and this don't track my calories. All this really does is flex on the haters, and it stunts on the hoes, right? But it does not track my calories the way the Apple Watch does. So that's why I went to the Oura Ring. I don't have it on right now because it's charging. You have to charge it like once every few days. And I forgot to put it back on, but I wear that every day. It tracks the calories I burn and the quality of my sleep. And it's super important to have that data because now you can make decisions based off of it, right? But then the next thing you need is MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is the app I use. I swear by it. You can ask me, pick any day over the last, I don't know, almost like 10 years. I'll tell you exactly how many calories I burnt, how much protein I got. I'll tell you all the macros for every day, how much I weighed that day, right? I track it all in MyFitnessPal. And the beauty of this is when you track your calories, how much you consumed, the Oura Ring's telling you how much you burned. Then you can just do some simple arithmetic and find out if you're in a caloric deficit or if you're in the caloric surplus, right? So if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, let's say you want to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 weeks, all right? Well, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories, right? You got to burn 3,500 calories to burn a pound of fat. If you burn 500 calories a day, right? If you're in a caloric deficit where, let's say you consume 3,000 calories today, right? But you burn 3,500, you're in a 500 calorie deficit. You do that every day because you're tracking it. You got math, right? Boom. You're going to be burning a pound of fat a week. And you won't even have to guess if you're going to accomplish that goal of burning 10 pounds in 10 weeks. And if you want to burn more than that, if you want to get more aggressive, then adjust the numbers accordingly. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's all math. That's the thing. That's kind of what I'm getting at on this whole thing. Life is just math. It's really all math. But if you don't have the data, how can you make decisions? How can you make decisions if you don't have the data? It's all math. And if you want to change the outputs, the results you're getting, then change the inputs. But how do you manage the inputs if you're not tracking them? That's what this is all about, right? If you want to accomplish a goal, you're going to have to spend a certain amount of time on that goal, right? Well, how much time are you spending each day on each goal? Oh no. Well, you ain't gonna accomplish shit, motherfucker. Definitely ain't gonna accomplish shit like me. Dumbass. Right. The next thing you need, next tool to keep you more productive is a app I don't call it. It's an app called iMood Journal. And here's what this thing does. It's the only notification that goes off on my phone. And it just gives me a reminder to mark where my mood is on a scale of 1 to 10. And then it gives me an average for the week. So last week, you can't really see it, but my average was 7.9, right? Almost 8. It's having a good week. Last month, my average was 7.3. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. And you can see the data. And then if I have a really a peak, I can mark in there what the peak was. And if I have a valley, I can mark in there what the valley was. Now, here's the thing. I've been doing this since before the iPhone was invented. I used to do it with paper because I have bipolar, right? But I never taken any medication for it because I was able to manage it when I learned this. And nobody really nobody taught this to me. I just knew that tracking was important, right? So what I would do is I would take a sheet of paper. It was like a little notebook paper. It was a little notebook, like them little moleskin notebooks, the really small ones that would fit in your pocket. I keep them in my back pocket, and I would just mark it from 1 to 10, and 10 being like, how I imagine Drake felt when the Raptors won the NBA championship. 1 is like a guy with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a revolver, trying to figure out if he's going to go to work this morning or not. And I would mark it from when I woke up to when I go to sleep. So just every hour of the day, I'm not going to draw that out for you, but blah, blah, blah. I'll just mark it every hour. And just every 2 hours, I'll set like a little alarm to just mark where I'm at 1 through 5. And what you'll notice is throughout the day, everyone's mood is changed throughout the day. You're going to experience a ton of emotions, right? Ups and downs throughout the day. That's why it's hard to say, oh, are you happy or not? Right? I would just actually mark it, and then I would draw a graph. And every time there was a high or a peak, I would take note of that and try to figure out how I can replicate those results. And every time there was a low, I would take note of that and try to eliminate those results. Right? This is how I stopped dating Puerto Ricans, because of the lows. Hey, I can make that joke because I might be Puerto Rican, right? My dad was an orphan and he looked super Puerto Rican. Anyway, no, but on some real shit, it's like there have been girls that I've stopped talking to or stopped dating because there would be too many lows that they were the cause of, So what happens is you get an average. You would get an average of these days, and I would find out what my average was, and you would see it would look like my baseline. So there's two types of states, right? The state of being. There's your momentary state, and then there's your baseline state. And you're going to have ups and downs, but you're going to go back to baseline normally, right? When you start to eliminate the lows, what happens is you start to change the baseline. And then over time, when I would eliminate the lows and try to replicate the highs, I would notice that, oh shit, my graph was higher. I had higher highs and higher lows. Still had lows, still experienced ups and downs. But what happened was my baseline would end up being higher. You get what I'm saying? And that's what you want. When people say, I want to be happy, the fuck does that mean? Do you mean that, I just want to be happy? It's not all about the money. I just want to be happy. Fuck you mean, man? Do you mean you never want to experience negative emotion again? You want your life to be an unbroken boulevard of green lights indefinitely? That's comically unrealistic. Every human is going to experience the full range of emotions. What you want is to, on average, experience more positive emotions than negative emotions, right? And then it's math. Everything is math, right? So if it's super important for you to be happy, then you should track that shit. And I was doing this on paper until iMood Journal until the iPhone came out. Then there was an app called iMood Journal. It only cost like $2. I'm not affiliated with them. They should break me off some paper. They should, but whatever. If you do this, man, you'll get so much data on your feelings and the things that lower your state and the things that raise your state, things that make you feel good and things that make you feel bad. And it might not be what you think, but more importantly, you're able to make decisions based off data, right? Should I break up with this person? Hey, let's see the graph. How many lows are they causing versus how many highs are they causing? Right? There's been times I've broken up with girls because of that, and immediately my average would go up on iMood Journal. Like I have data to show that I was happier as a result from not being around this woman, or it'd be a woman who would make me feel better, like my girlfriend. She's in the other room making me. Listen, we about to hit an 8 after this, 8, 9 after this. You know what I'm talking about? It's in the calendar. Schedule. we about to hit some 9s and 10s this afternoon, if you know what I'm talking about, And then you could, this is all about data. You get what I'm saying? It's all about data. It's all math. Like success in life is all math. You guys want to make money? It's all math. Speaking of math, the last productivity tool you need is it's called mint.com. And what you do is you link up all your accounts. Every account, your business accounts, your checking accounts, your savings accounts, your investment accounts. You can put in all your assets, everything you own, and it'll show you in your credit. And it's basically like a database of your financial life. You can look at it every day, see how much you're spending versus how much you're getting. You're going to have to go in every day. And what I do is I look at every transaction, money coming in and coming out, and I categorize it it does some categorization for you, but I made up my own categories just so I can see it a little better. And it gives you graphs and it gives you data and it shows your net worth. So I can, every month I can watch my net worth climb as a result, right? And I can make decisions based off data. And that's what this is all about. It's like you have to make decisions based off data if you really want to take it to the next level. You can't be out here guessing. You can't be out here fucking around. You got to be super strategic in life. And if you start using these tools, I promise you, you'll be able to take your life to the next level. There's some other videos around here that will show you more about tracking and how I use it and how you can use it to improve your life. You're going to want to check those out right now. When we do the video. Hey, speaking of data, we got my man Romulus, my trading mentor, coming in hot to give us an update on the market. Let's get it.
You know, Brandon,
Romulus, what up?
I'm becoming like this little program dog. As soon as I hear that theme music hit, boom!
That's unfortunate because we're about to change all the music.
I like it. So we've had a great couple of weeks, great couple of months. It's been a great year, Brandon, and in no small part to the Victory Unit.
Mm-hmm.
We have been building and marching forward and getting bigger, stronger, smarter every single day. And Brandon just showing everybody a couple of tips and tools that are at your fingertips, everybody. So take advantage of that stuff. Believe me, your life will get a lot better. Just keep sticking around here.
That's a fact, man.
That's a tool is to jump in the Discord. That's the number one tool.
Come on, man. That's the tool you need, man.
That is
like,
listen. You need. Absolutely. So the last 2 weeks, last week and the prior, that's 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about this whole earnings thing because right now companies are reporting one after another about the earnings that they've received or not received for the second quarter, which came to an end on June 30th. And one of the consistent messages that we have been delivering on this podcast the last few weeks is don't run out there if you don't have any experience in the stock market and buy Tesla the day before their earnings, or buy Netflix the day before their earnings, or Microsoft the day before their earnings, just because you hear kind of people talking about it and you think that you need to be in. That's a pure case of FOMO, and FOMO is for weaklings.
Come on, man.
So, and since there's no weaklings listening, then I know no one here is doing that.
Yeah. Can you show us some of the charts, Romulus? I know there's been a lot of action.
Yeah. So all this always takes a second, everybody. And
it's all good, man.
As you know, just kind of bear with us here while this pulls up.
Mm-hmm.
And here it comes. And then you're going to be the guy that lets me know, Brandon.
Yeah, it's up. There you go.
Hey. All right. So as always, we start off with the big picture of the S&P 500. So as I was saying, last couple of weeks we've had you've seen Tesla earnings, and we were talking about that right over here. It doesn't just because Tesla had a bad couple of weeks doesn't mean that the stock is about to drop from $260 a share all the way down to $100 a share by next week. That's not the case. Yeah. What I'm telling you is that people run out there and they buy the stock right up here the day before the earnings come out, right all the way up here. And occasionally it works. Okay, Meta went up a little bit after the earnings. Google went up a little bit after the earnings. But most of the time, if the stock's already up a lot, it's already been running. I mean, Microsoft has been running, not the last several weeks, but for the good part of the year, it's been running.
It's been running.
You buy it right before the earnings come out. You're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake.
It's exactly right. And again, there's no rookies here with us. Although if you are a rookie, no worries. Jump into our Discord. We'll start teaching you and getting you straight right away.
Come on.
To get better with all of your money, your finances, and the empire that you should be starting to build right now. All right, so why am I even bringing that up, Brandon? Why am I talking about earnings? I mean, Microsoft's already come out. Netflix already came out. These companies have already, because there's a couple of big ones on Thursday. Amazon, all right?
That's right.
On Thursday. And then there's the big dog itself, Apple. Okay? Apple. Now, I don't think, let's break these down a little bit separate out. Amazon is a company that is, I don't know, they like to surprise people with their earnings, both up and down. I've seen them come out with positive surprises and the stock goes up 10%. I've seen them come out with negative surprises. Stock drops 20%. I've seen it all in the past 20 plus years that the company's been public. Apple's a little more responsible and a little more kind of steady does it. That if Apple was going to surprise to the downside, they would have pre-warned in June. Okay. You don't see that very often. You don't see it every single time. But the companies that have garnered a lot of respect on Wall Street within the analyst community, with the partnership that goes on over there, they pretty much call the shots on this stuff.
Yeah.
And if they felt back in near the end of June, which is the end of the quarter, that they were going to really have a hard time with it, they would have told the investing community already. And they did. So that leads me to believe that Apple is not going to say, oh, well, we shit the bed. It's just sorry, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that they're going to say something so positive that the stock's going to run up another 5, 10, or 20%, which is what the retail crowd really wants.
Yeah.
The stock could easily drop a couple points, nothing disaster, but it could drop 3 or 4%, no problem at all. And Apple still keeps doing fine. You follow me here?
Yeah. You never know if just because I've seen good earnings, positive earnings, and the stock drops. I've seen it.
Yep. Oh, we can go on and on about that. I mean, McDonald's the other day, they were kind of thinking about breaking out from this ascending triangle, which is a pattern that we teach everybody in our Victory Unit Legion. And it was thinking about it, but the earnings came out. It almost got there. And then it just decided, nope, not ready yet. So away. And the earnings were great. I mean, they beat the estimate. They beat last year. It was wonderful earnings. Didn't matter. Somehow, somewhere, they expected more. Microsoft earnings were fantastic, but they expected more than that, and the stock went down. So see how that is. You just kind of follow with what the market is doing. What the market is doing lately is it's just kind of tempering its enthusiasm a little bit in this whole tech AI generated buzz that's been going on for the better part of the year. It doesn't mean that these things are about to drop by 30, 40, or 50%. If that's coming, we will see more evidence of that over the next 4 to 6 or 8 weeks. Right now, it's just, hey, calm down, cool out. No reason to run out there and dump a bunch of money. It's the same message, Brandon, that we've been delivering the last couple of weeks. And what's happened? This has stalled out since then.
Yeah.
So we've hit it right on the money. Okay. Right on the money. Now, over in our Legion, we've had a couple of really cool, fun trades. You see this red down here. We were on that one. That was a cool little one because
that was
getting, and this is what I mean, people getting overly excited about IBM. Look, if you didn't buy it at that breakout right here, then all you're doing is wasting your money chasing it higher. Okay? That's what you're doing. You're playing that rookie mistake. If the stock falls, maybe there's an opportunity. I'll show you another chart here. Johnson & Johnson's a big company that had a big run. If you didn't buy it at this breakout over here, halfway in the middle of this huge earnings generated candle, then all this other stuff, you're just wasting your money because look what happened a couple of days later. Gave it all back.
Wow. Yeah.
The people buying it down here today, yesterday, they're the ones who were rewarded for their patience.
Yeah, and that was like that would have been that's a textbook trade, right there. Like it hit that former resistance and then bounced right back up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean about just being patient, getting a plan together. There is someone perhaps listening right now, even posting once in a while in our Victory Unit Discord, which is great, doing some day trading and futures stuff. And it's awesome because I believe it's a he. He and I are communicating, and I'm able to help him out a little bit. He lives, I believe, in England. And one of the things that we're learning from him is he's getting some success, but lacking the real consistency that he will get in time. I believe that I've seen enough from him to show me that he's got talent. He's got the ability to keep learning and improving. So I believe that in time he will get it. But one of the things that he's learning is you've got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. And that's what I mean. It can't be a part of your plan to just go out and buy Netflix the night before the earnings come out. Okay. I mean, because if that's your plan, please direct message me now. Okay. Yeah. Direct message me right away. Bigger picture, longer term, there's definitely some issues out there that deserve some close attention that people really aren't talking about too much, Brandon. I mean, out in the chat rooms, in the trading journals out there, the YouTube world, I don't hear people really talking about the interest rates that are pumping up lately. Okay. I don't really hear it. Now, I'm in a little bit of a campaign right now where I'm slowly and steadily buying bonds for long term. Okay. But no one's talking about the damage that could potentially happen to the stock market because of the short term of what's happened to these rates. I mean, look at that. Okay. Look at the 20-year. I mean, the 20-year closed at a 17-year high today. 17 years. Okay. No one's talking about this. And you know what else no one's talking about that really surprises me? The damn price of oil.
Yeah, that's been going crazy, right?
Crazy. I mean, you go to the pump in 2 weeks, you're paying a lot more than you were in June.
Yeah.
So fill your car up now. Right? Gas prices are going up, and no one's talking about this. So the most inflationary pressure in the entire global economy comes from the price of oil, or deflationary. Oil is still the number one economic input in the entire world. Okay, there's more money spent on oil and energy than on any one thing else. Okay, it is still, regardless of where we're heading in the green revolution in 20 years from now, that doesn't do anything for us right this second. Oil, $82 a barrel. If it stays up there for the next 2 months, then I promise you the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates again in September. Because all of our costs are going to be starting to reflect higher prices. And look, this is going on when? July. Okay, that ended yesterday. So when the July inflation numbers come out, they're going to be higher than people expect. And if the price stays up here, my point is, no one's talking about these two things.
Yeah, something we got to keep our eye on.
They're not talking about this stuff. Okay, not talking about it. So that's a couple of the bigger picture kind of issues. Smaller. Now, there's always a rhythm to Wall Street. Wall Street trades Monday to Friday. Okay, there's some future stuff over the weekend, but nobody really does anything. It opens from 9:30 to 4. It closes on the weekends. It closes on holidays. It closes down almost to a standstill between Christmas and New Year. Labor Day week, right before Labor Day, everybody's gone. These are things I've been working through for 28 years, and I love it about it. And there's a rhythm to the earnings. First company that ever comes out with earnings is always JP Morgan and the banks. Okay. So you see what happens here, has a big run, right into it, a little bit after. Now it's stalling out. That's not unusual. Then the big tech companies come out. Okay. And then you file that with a couple of the industrials. Next thing to come out are the small cap stocks. All right. Well, I didn't realize that sucker got hit so much earlier in the day. Anyway, sorry. But the small cap stocks, the small cap earnings will start to come out this week. So a lot of guys in the internet trading rooms are big on this SoFi stock. Okay. Yeah. So that had a little pop, but you notice how it gave almost all of it back today. All right. Yeah. This is a stock that I've owned, as you know, Brandon, for almost a year. Rocket. This company has earnings coming out on Thursday, which is the same day as Amazon and Apple. And this little company right here, it's not so little, actually. It's the biggest mortgage provider and producer in the entire world. They have their earnings coming out. I wouldn't be surprised that they have that day in the sun like the SoFi had. Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised by anything like that. The stock I've had for a bit. I mean, I don't buy it up here because I own it at a much, much lower. My average cost is slightly over $7 a share.
Same.
I'm not going to be adding to it at $11 a share, but I wouldn't be surprised if that has a post-earnings pop of quite a significant move to the upside. Okay. So we are watching these small cap stocks. Now, another thing that we want to keep in mind, this is just kind of in the background. August is not the best month for stocks. September, though, that's the bad one. The reputation is for October because the biggest crashes of U.S. history both happened during the month of October, 29 and 1987. 1929 being the bigger problem because it helped lead to the Great Depression. So October has this reputation. Interesting though, Brandon. I'm Romulus, right? I come from ancient Rome.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes, not every single fall, but sometimes there would be a crash in the grain market of ancient Rome. And it would happen during the month of October or the fall because their calendar years were kind of weird. They didn't have a leap year, so they couldn't keep track of how the stuff moved around. But it would happen during our month of October. When the markets crashed on occasion, when they did, it would happen in October. It's kind of funny. But the worst month of the stock market out of the 12 is actually not October. It is actually September, which when it comes to trading is not that far away.
It's not.
It's 20 trading, not even 20 trading days away. And you start up in September.
Yeah.
So I would suggest everybody out there, get yourself in our Victory Unit Discord pronto. Start interacting, communicating, throwing questions in there. And join the Victory Unit as soon as you can. We'll start talking about all these things with you, helping you out. Because this stuff is just really easy to get wrong.
Yeah.
You get it wrong, you can really go off the rails.
Yeah.
Okay. You can really go off the, very important to get it right, to keep it right. You can't do that alone. You can't do that in a cave. You cannot do that in a vacuum. You've got to be part, especially today, you've got to be part of a community. You want to talk about a tool. You want to talk about a system and a method to help you improve rapidly, to really go up the curve faster. Don't try to do this stuff alone.
That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact. Join the Discord.
I mean,
join the Discord, get a help. We in there, man. Me and my team, me, Romulus, the homie Greg, we in there, man. And plus the other members, we in there throwing around advice that really help you like get some money, man.
Yep, absolutely right. So I know there's a lot of different topics we hit on today, Brandon. Hopefully that helps everybody out. Tomorrow, by the way, in our Victory Unit Discord, we do this every Wednesday at 4:15. Greg and I, we do a quick traders town hall. We host it in the Discord. So that's one of the benefits for hanging around in there. And we put up different cool topics and ideas. And then everybody gets a chance to ask some high quality traders a couple of quick questions. So join us tomorrow.
Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Thank you so much, Romulus.
Absolutely. Great to see you again, Brand. By the way, are you holding up in the Miami Heat? What is that doing to the hair?
Man, I stay in the house from like when it's super hot, like I from around 8 to I don't go outside till the sun starts going down.
Crazy, right?
That's my plan.
I lived in Florida for a couple of years. I lived in a town called Vero Beach, which is about 2 hours north of you. Yeah. And the craziest thing was in July and August, it could be 98 degrees during the day. Hey, you expect that in Florida.
Yeah.
But it stays 98 degrees at 2 a.m. It never cools off even at night. And by the way, hurricane season coming up. That's just kind of an annual thing, right? It's coming, so you know how to be prepared. But just make sure you are. If you live in South Florida, it's just always smart to say, okay, I got a plan. Well, we go back to that, don't we? You got to have a plan.
You got to have a plan.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ron.
It was awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace. Come on, man. You know what it is, man. Make sure you join the Discord. That's my homie Romulus, my trading mentor. Help me make a ton of money. And he's in a victory unit to help you, man, along with the homie Greg. And those guys have helped me make a lot of money, and they'll help you too. All right. Hey, I think we got some super chats.
We do.
All right.
So let's go back to Blackjack.
Oh, fucking Blackjack.
How you found a way to run Facebook ads without getting banned.
Yeah.
His question is, what's your advice on testing headlines, images?
All right. So here's the thing, right? So you're going to have a landing page. Boom. You're going to have a landing page for your... It's weird, right? Okay, so there's so much stuff to test, and it's weird, right? So first you have your ad, right? Let's say you have your ad, and let's say you have an image, and you have your headline, and you have like text and everything, right? This is on the ad side, right? So right here, you're looking for like your cost per click, right? You're looking at your impressions, right? But then also, it's like the ad works depends on what happens on the landing page, right? So you got to test this stuff too. This is why it's so hard, right? So whatever you got going on the landing page, let's say you got a video, boom, and you have, you have text here, name, email, boom, all this stuff, right? You got to test the conversion on both. You get what I'm saying? So you're really just gonna have to test different ads. What I like to do is I set up maybe like 5 different ads, right? And then I just see like what my cost per click is, right? How much is costing me to get someone to click on my link, right? Per ad, and then I have different variations. Okay, then you find one that's working. But then you have to A/B test. You have to actually split test your landing page. So I might have a different video here, right? I might have different headlines, right? So first you gotta optimize both. You can do them both simultaneously, right? But then you pick the winners. So we might put out an ad. We might put out an ad, boom, and we might have. First, we're just testing the video. Right. And sometimes that's called a creative. So first we're just testing the creative, right? If it's a video. Then we find the creative that's working. Maybe we cut the losers, keep running this one, but then we duplicate this shit. And now we might test different headlines with the same creative. And but the thing is, it never stops. It never stops. And then the another hard part is that just because it's working doesn't mean it's gonna work forever. So sometimes there's something called ad fatigue. So for no reason, all of these ads may stop working because too many people saw them, you know. But then you also, okay, so you got to, here's the anatomy of your ads, right? Boom. You got your creative. This is like your video or your tech or your image that you're using. Then you have your copy, right? These are the words, words you're using, right? Right. But then the other stuff you can actually test outside of that is your targeting, right? So you gotta pick you gotta make sure you might have to test different audiences. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to put, do you want to go super broad or do you want to go super niche, right? So targeting is where you can actually get you can do a lot of testing, right? So I used to do something like, so let's say I got my targeting, right? Right. And let's say now we have age, right? Obviously sex. Right. But then you got to assume you got the right sex, you got the right age, and then you got interest. Right. So you got to make sure you're picking the right interest. But then you might want to, for you especially, you might want to just target men, right? And then I don't know what your age is going to be, right? But they probably want to be you want to make sure they're over 21, right? So they can do it. You know, I don't know. Maybe I do 21 to 30. I'm just picking, but you might have to test different age groups, 21 to 30. You might have to test 30 to 40, right? Then it's also, you have placement, right? So it's like with placement, there's the news feed, right? You know what I'm saying? There's Instagram, then there's IG story, right? There's FB story, right? These are all the different places that can show up, and you got to see which one. You can actually open up the ads manager and see which one is converting. Once you feel like you have the right interest, right? You can see which ones are converting the best, right? And you can actually, this is what I would do. Initially, I would keep it super wide, right? Like super wide, like 21 to fucking 60 or some shit, right? And then you look at your cost per click, but you can break it down for the demographics. So you can see if these people is cheaper for these people to click or cheaper for which age group, right? Then you can see which placements are working, are cheapest. You might find the feed doesn't work. You might find that IG is working better than IG story or Facebook. You never know, right? You never know. But then there's also device. People don't notice this, man, but sometimes it's like I would have shit and would only go to iPhone and iPad, or sometimes only desktop. I only want people to see it on desktop. You got to see which one is converting better, right? But you'll be able to look in the ads manager and you'll be able to break it down, and you're going to have to just keep it like super wide at first, and then just go in there and look and see which ones are cheaper, and then make an ad set based off the ones that are working. All right. So you got the interest, then pick the age group that's like working, that's cheapest for you, the placements that are working the best, exclude the ones that aren't, and then which device. It might be Android, right? Right. You don't know, whatever it is. Or it might just be desktop, right? You got to see which device is actually working on too. And then once you have that going, then, I mean, this is why it's so hard. And this is why most people who run ads suck, because you can get super detailed with this, you know, and then you can get something working and then it stops working just cause. There's that part too. So you're gonna have to keep coming out with different creatives. Like, soon as one's working, we're already working on the next one. For example, in our business, we'll film like, I don't know, 30 creatives one day, right? And then we'll edit some of them like kind of differently, so we end up with maybe like 60 to 70, and then we'll test 10 at a time. And then when we get few that are working, we'll let those run until they stop really working. Then we got a whole nother 10 to throw at them, right? So we're always ready. And then when we start getting low on new creatives to test, they probably last a few weeks, you know, then we're already filming the next ones. You get what I'm saying? And this is why it's so hard. And that's just on the Facebook side. But then once they actually hit your landing page, now you have to start split testing things on the page. You got to see which what headlines are working better, which videos are working better on the page, what copy is working better on the page. So on the actual page, you have different things you can test. You can test creative, right? As far as like the videos or images they're using, you can test different copy. You can test different colors, right? You can test different. What else can you test on it? You know, I mean, honestly, we've tested different stuff. Like, do we ask for their name or do we just ask for the email? Do we ask for their first name and last name? Do we ask for their phone number? We're like, what helps with conversion? And there's so many stuff to test on that side of it too. And that's why it's hard, you know, and a lot of people who run ads for suck, right? Because at one point it became like the hustle, right? There was a lot of courses and people selling courses on how to run Facebook ads, and they just teach you the basics, and you run into a lot of people who suck. So it's super important that you get a firm grasp of it first, even if you're not like the best, just so people can't bullshit you. Because I've hired people to run my ads and they try to bullshit me like, no. I've spent millions on ads myself that I ran. You can't bullshit me. You're fired. But they might have been able to bullshit someone else. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, just test you can squeeze a lot out of the targeting. Just keep that in mind. The targeting, find out, keep it broad at first, keep it totally open, let placements everywhere, devices everywhere. Unless you know only men are going to buy your shit, you know, then keep gender open and age open, and then start to look in the ads manager and see which demographics, which placements, which devices, which interests. You can maybe use a bunch of different interests and see which ones are converting best. And you then make new ad sets based off that. And then the best, when it really gets crazy, is once you get about, let's say you get 2,000 people hitting your page. You get 2,000 people who click the ad and hit the page. All right, bet. Now you can use that data to make what's called a lookalike audience, right? A lookalike audience. And then Facebook will find like millions of people that are like those 2,000 people. And they'll do, and so instead of using interest, you can use the lookalike audience, and that works really well. And then you still do the same thing with the placement, the targeting, and tracking and stuff, right? And then once you have 2,000 people who once you have 2,000 leads, then you can make it a lookalike audience based off your leads. And if you got 2,000 customers, you can upload your customer list and you can make a lookalike audience based off customers. Those are the best lookalike audience, like just based off the customers. And Facebook will go find millions of people who look like them. And then you can use, instead of using interest, right? Then you can just plug in that lookalike audience, keep the interest wide open, and just edit out the demographics and the placements and the devices and stuff like that. Hope that helps, Blackjack. Good luck to you. That's a lot, man. He might be overwhelmed, straight up. But if it was easy, everybody be a fucking Facebook millionaire, man. This shit ain't. It's all math. That's what I've been saying to associate. It's all math. I swear to God, it's life. Life is just math. It's all math. But you got to be able to track the inputs to manage the outputs.
He said the advice was gold.
He's right. He's right. Shout out to you, Blackjack Master. Get some of this money. He's getting free coaching. Well, it's not free because he's paying. So it's still cheap though. I'm glad that shit is working out for him, man. What else we got?
Yeah, big player JD.
Big player JD.
Last week you said working 17 hours is a lot, but remember, it's equivalent to you when you work 4 jobs traveling on the train. I want to thank you for everything on knowledge, and I joined the Legion and made my first 300 on a trade option.
Yo, come on, man. Let's go. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, big player JD. Let's keep that momentum going. That's what's up, man.
We got Gabriel. Big Brandon, what is your fiber intake? Do you still eat a lot of spinach?
Nah, I don't eat a lot of spinach, man. It's like, yo, my diet is almost carnivore, but like I'll still eat some vegetables. Man, this is not advice. It's not advice. But like, I fart and shit more when I eat fiber, right? Like I'm regular and I'm good when it's like I'm just eating mostly protein and fats. It's like bowel movements are regular, everything's calm, but it's like that fiber makes you fucking fart. I fucked around and ate a salad last night and I'm over here farting my ass off next to the chick on the fucking plane. I'm in first class shit. And you gotta do that, you know that thing where you like kind of like spread your butt cheek apart so it don't flap and don't make a sound. And I'm just chilling, reading, farting, sound like and then it starts smelling, and I just hold my breath, pretend like I don't hear nothing, smell nothing. And she's like, this. I'm looking at her like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's what happens when you eat salad, man. Salad is what my food eats. I should cut that out. My food eats salad, not me. What else we got?
Sucio. We have NM. Hi, Brandon. Looking for guidance.
Yeah,
I'm 31 with little debt, making $130K a year from my day job.
Okay.
My side hustle generates $40K a month in revenue.
This man's doing
when should
well.
I make the transition into working my side hustle full time?
Well, you're gonna have to look at it with like, again, it's all math. Shout out to you. I would look at how many hours you spend per month on your side hustle, and you got to track that, right? To really know. Don't guess. Like really track it. Today's the first. Like really track it. In a month, get an app or put in your calendar or something to track how many hours you spend on your side hustle per month, right? First, how much money you make, right? Then then do the same thing with your job. And if you find out that you're making like way more per hour with your side hustle, then it makes a lot of sense to fucking cut that job and put all the hours into your side hustle. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, your side hustle is not going to be as secure, right? You got a good job. Right. And there's something to be said about a good job. Not everybody's super cut out to be an entrepreneur and only eat what they kill. I don't know if you are or not. Right. But there is something comforting about having a salary, especially a good salary like you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people tell you, man, just burn your fucking boats and jump out the window like an asshole and go for it. Right. But those people are fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like at 31, you might have kids or family or at least people who depend on you. Right. I know I couldn't do that at that time. Right. There's people who depended on me. So I waited. I held on to the last job for mad long. When I was still training people and working at the restaurant for mad long before I quit that. And I made sure my side hustle was making more than my job. And I had 6 months of savings. Right. So I could cover my expenses for 6 months if shit hit the fan, right? I had 6 months to pull it together. And now you might not be able to do that exact same thing, right? Because your income was a lot higher than my income, personal training, working at a restaurant, right? So you're going to look at your hourly rate and see if it makes sense for you to put more. Like if you put those same hours in your side hustle, would you make more money? Right. And or would you enjoy life more? Some people really like their jobs. And if you find a job that you enjoy and it pays well, that's a fucking cheat code of life. You know what I'm saying? If you can figure that out, you know, because you're going to spend a third of your life working on something and there's no guarantee that you'll like your business or your side hustle. Like I've had businesses that I did not enjoy running. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, right? Quality of life as well. And if you want to make the transition, then like just look at it's math. It's all math. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense on paper, but you still want to have at least 6 months of savings. At least 6 months savings. So if shit hits the fan, then you're in good shape. You got 6 months to pull it together. You know what I'm saying? 6 months to a year. Honestly, depending on your risk tolerance. At least 6 months. A year is better. You know what I'm saying? But you need to know how much money you need to live per month. You do that with mint.com. So like what I do is I have one category that I put base expenses. So I know exactly how much I need to live each month. Right. And I make sure that I try to make sure that number doesn't grow. So even when I'm buying Richard Mille's and you know what I'm saying, I'm buying fucking jewelry and I'm buying Louis shit and designer clothes. Those are one-time expenses. I'm super reluctant to raise my base expenses, my monthly expenses. I'm just like super reluctant to raise those. So yeah, you buy this watch, yeah, I can do that. Okay, you buy it once. It's not some shit I got to pay for every month, right? But if it's something, but you know, when people start buying cars and getting bigger homes and different stuff, like y'all see, I lived in the same places for a long time. If you follow me on YouTube, I stayed in that place in Queens for mad long. I stayed in that place in Manhattan for mad long. It's just because I'm super reluctant to raise my base expenses because, you know, you got to pay those every month, no matter what. You get what I'm saying? So keep that in mind and track it. It's all math. It's all math. I'll answer one more for the next.
And
one.
said thanks.
You're welcome.
We have Mav.
Big Mav.
This podcast is elite.
Yeah.
Imagine how many 6- and 7-figure earners Brandon is creating.
Yo, you're right, man. I've already done countless over my lifespan, my career. But now I'm doing it for free for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, I used to do this back in the day every Wednesday. Like back in the day, this old, yo, let me just show you how far I've come, man. Let me see if I can break this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is, then we're going to get into book of the week. But hold on, man. This is going to be, you're going to appreciate this. This is a testament to actual like hard work and consistency. Hold on. Let me show you what it used to look like. Was this 8 years ago? I'll show my screen. 8 years ago, me in the crib, man, doing the same shit, yelling at the webcam. No microphone, bunch of bullshit in the back. The books still had the books, but they was piled up, man. Hey, man, a lot can change in 8 years if you don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Had the pervert mustache.
Playing fight game on PS1. Yo, man, that's the last game system I had, PS1.
You know what I'm saying? Same shit, man. But we just stepped up, man. We just stepped up. Same, you know, just a little better quality. I'm sexier now. How'd that happen? Turning back, you know, ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet. This room was messy. I think if we watched this, you'd see a cat. The homie Meow Mix Poppy pop up. He might have been asleep. Anyway, whatever. Fuck it. All right. Hey, let's get into the book of the week. All right, this week, book of the week is. Oh, wait a minute. All right, the book of the week is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Now, Napoleon Hill, he wrote the book called Think and Grow Rich. A lot of people attribute their success to it. It's a fantastic book, really good. This book he wrote before he died, and he had it locked up. He didn't put it out because he felt like he'd be prosecuted, right? Because it was, old time shit. I don't know how old it was. Maybe it was still burning witches and shit back in them days, but it's like a conversation he has with the devil. And it was so controversial, some of the stuff he was saying, that his family locked it up and said, listen, y'all can't publish this shit till all of us die. And then all of them died. And now we got Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. They kept this joint on ice. Now, the book is good. I suggest you get the audiobook, because the audiobook is like a play. It's like a conversation. And he's actually talking to the devil, and it's two different voices. And the devil sounds super fucking scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, but he's saying some real shit, man. Let me see if I can find out some shit, man. I'm trying to find my notes. I'll just tell you, one of my takeaways from this book was when the devil called people drifters. And the kind of person he called a drifter was the person who didn't have a solid plan in life, who didn't have what he called a definite purpose, who wasn't like moving towards something with like a real game plan. Like, you can still say you want to accomplish a bunch of shit. You can still say you want to do things and not be really going after it like you mean. You still be a drifter. And the drifters are people who like waste time. They spend a lot of time watching TV, social media, kind of like bullshitting their time away. And what do they say about idle hands, right? Idle hands are the devil's workshop. And they kind of go into detail about that, how like that's what he uses to control people. You know what I'm saying? He uses cheap entertainment, dopamine, to control people and knock them off their path. And the only people, the devil was saying in the book, the only people he couldn't control were the people who had like a real game plan for life, who was going after it every day. You know what I'm saying? Who would stop at nothing to accomplish it. And that kind of goes back to how we started this shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a game plan. You got to have a game plan to be covered in name brand. You know what I'm talking about? And so like, that's why, having a calendar is so important, like planning your fucking life out, right? Bruce Lee said, if you love time, Bruce Lee said, if you love life, don't waste time, because time is what life is made of, right? And Napoleon Hill, well, the devil in the story was talking about the drifters are people who just waste time. And you see these people all the time, man. They might talk a game. They might say they want to accomplish all this other shit, but they bullshit so much time away. They don't have their life like planned out. And the only way to escape that fate is to really plan out your life. So as you can see, man, I have every week planned out. I have every day planned out. Like, this is what 1 week looks like. And these days, this white space is going to get filled up. Like, when this day comes, like, this is a few weeks ahead of time, but that shit is going to be full. There's going to be no white space like as we get there. But it's a little open now because, people on my team can put stuff in there. But as they approach, I'm going to fill up all this white space, right? And I approach each day with a game plan. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing every hour of it, every day for the most part. And I attack it, and even like leisure, you can still have fun, but it's planned, There's going to be stuff I'm going to be doing with my girlfriend. There's going to be stuff I'm going to be doing with my son. There's going to be stuff I'm going to be doing with my nieces and nephews, right? But it's going to be planned out. It's not going to be random, right? Because you live life random, according to this, then the devil can get his fucking hands on you, man. He can get his hands on you, and he can steer you towards his means, his goals. But if you got a plan, you can really accomplish some good things, man. Yeah, I'm saying. And there's this one part in this book that was super fucking funny, man. It was funny to me, where The devil was saying, man, I almost got you, Napoleon Hill, but I wasn't able to, man, because you had fucked around and fell in love. You got a girlfriend, man. You got a girl. But he said before that, I was getting you, man, with all these hoes. Those were the words he said. But I was able to distract you with bitches and shit. I was throwing bitches at you, and I was keeping you off your plan. And I read that shit. I was like, oh shit, nigga, how many motherfuckers do you know like that who would be super successful? They didn't spend so much time chasing hoes. You get what I'm saying? And that's when I really started to look at it like, oh shit, this is causing a lot of men who would be great to really fall off and be distracted. And you end up chasing empty victories. The time you spend chasing them, or, these, a lot of these chicks, man, are fucking mental terrorists, right? They'll fucking throw you off your fucking game. And even when you're not with them or think they'll fuck up your brain, where you won't be as focused, accomplishing your goals, we're developing a product to help you guys with that. Thot Repellent, you know what I'm saying? But I think this book really helped inspire that. Outwitting the devil. We'll make it easier to outwit the devil with Thot Repellent. You know what I'm saying? But there's a whole part in there where he's like, God damn it, Napoleon Hill, I almost had you, man, with these hoes. Those weren't the words he used. I'm paraphrasing. It was like, but fuck, you fucked around and found that one chick you kind of fell in love and shit. And then you was able to like devote all this time to your goals instead of chasing hoes. Now you were best-selling author of some of the best-selling books of all time. You were a literary legend. Damn, if you ain't fall in love with that girl, if you would have kept chasing these hoes like a fucking punk, I'd have been able to get you. I remember reading that shit and I was like, you're not gonna get me. Yeah. It's real shit, man. It's real shit. Like think how much more successful you may be if you weren't like spending so much time chasing girls or thinking about girls or trying to get to them. This is real shit. This is real shit. These are fucking empty victories. Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna accomplish? You're gonna have sex with some girl who's had sex with a bunch of other people. Oh, big fucking accomplishment, dumbass. It's an empty victory, man. It's an empty victory. And you fuck around and you end up like chasing dopamine instead of chasing victory. You end up chasing dopamine instead of chasing victory, but you're still using energy to chase. You're going to use energy to chase either one, right? So you're either going to chase dopamine, chase excitement, right? Or you're going to chase victory. You get what I'm saying? So when I see a lot of these red pill guys, and some of them I was cool with, man. I was cool with Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? I had dinner with him before. Like, he was a cool guy, but he was talking about exercising your options and all that stuff. And I hear a lot of that in the red pill community. And I'm like, yo, that's the dumbest shit you could do, bro. If your goal is to make a lot of money and have a lot of success for yourself and your family. Because, the dopamine you get from novelty, it's a high dopamine spike. But we talked about this last week or in my video on dopamine, is when you have these huge dopamine spikes, what happens is your body uses up the dopamine that's available in your brain, and then you go below baseline, right? And then you kind of sad after it. It just can be anything, but chasing new girls is an easy way to spike dopamine. But you dip below baseline when you have these high spikes, and then you're thinking, "Fuck, how do I get better again?" And this is how people get addicted to that rush of chasing new girls, or get addicted to anything, right? Because it's the same thing with partying or playing video games or any of these things that manufacture artificial dopamine that would be like above what you can get like naturally, right? You go to a fucking club, you hear all that music, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, when would a caveman experience that kind of dopamine, right? But you motherfuckers are doing it like every night. And then you're adding fucking drugs and alcohol to it and new random chicks. You're going to experience a spike in dopamine that's kind of like beyond what our nervous system was designed for, right? And then after it, you're going to experience a low as a result. And it's going to be difficult for you to be motivated to do anything after that. You're just going to end up chasing that dopamine again, chasing that that feeling. Because one thing you should know about dopamine is that you need it to actually accomplish your goals, right? Without dopamine, you won't have motivations. But how do I get motivation? You got to stop wasting your dopamine on bullshit, whether it's video games, getting high, partying, chasing women, casual sex. All these things will spike your dopamine. The problem is you waste it, right? If you were to use that dopamine towards the acquisition of capital or the accomplishment of your goals, you'd be so much more motivated because you need dopamine for motivation, right? So anybody who lacks motivation, look at the things you're wasting your dopamine on. Random girls, partying, casual sex, recreational drugs, alcohol, right? This is one of the reasons why I preach sobriety. This is one of the reasons why I preach sobriety, because you're gonna waste your dopamine on that shit. But if you imagine you spend all your dopamine and focus it towards your goals, right? Because that's where motivation comes from. Motivation actually comes from dopamine. Without anyone who lacks motivation lacks dopamine, and you're wasting it on bullshit, right? I'm not telling you not to drink or not to go out and not to do the things, not to enjoy life, right? But there's other ways to enjoy life. That's what I'm trying to say, right? You can also enjoy life by accomplishing your goals, by working hard, seeing how much you can push yourself, building generational wealth for yourself and your family, like actually real shit, This book says all of that and more in a different way. And I highly suggest you read it. If I were you, I'd get the audiobook. The audiobook is super good because it's like a conversation with Napoleon Hill and the devil. It's super good. I think you should read it. They won't get into the neuroscience like I just did. But this might be more digestible for you, man. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, good ass book. All right. Oh, I had another segment, but we're gonna save that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna answer super chats. Somebody said I was spitting. I see Neptune said that, and he's right. He's right. Shout out to Neptune for recognizing the real.
We have a few, but this is part 2 of Mav's first part before book of the week.
Mm-hmm.
This is time with your girlfriend. Is it undivided attention, or you include podcast time, or if you work out together, you count that too, or is it purely dinner, dates, bedroom, etc.? I
would count it as romantic shit. Honestly, that's how I would count it. But you got to kind of talk to her. It depends on what her love language or what she's on. She might just want to work out with you, maybe that's cool. It's my mom told me a long time ago when I was a real little kid, like some shit I didn't want to go to, but it was my friend's thing, and I was real little. And she said, "Brandon, if you want to have good friends, you gotta be a good friend." And I think about that with kind of everything in my life. Like if you want to have a good girlfriend, well, you got to be a good boyfriend, right? You know what I'm saying? If you want to have good employees, you got to be a good employer, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that exchange. So you got to make sure she's getting what she needs out of a relationship too, and that's kind of one of the issues I see with a lot of guys in the red pill space. It's almost like women should just bow down to you motherfuckers, right? But you gotta not everybody's talking like that. I'm not trying to discourage, because a lot of those are the homies, but it's you got to incentivize her to be on your team. You know what I'm saying? Ride your wave if that's what you want to do, and you got to be the kind of man who's worthy of that as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's, I think, where you see a lot of the negativity in the red pill space towards women is guys who want to be treated a certain way by women, but every guy don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like statistically, every guy doesn't deserve that, right? The average man has less than $1,000 in the bank account and is 17 pounds overweight. Like, how can that fat broke motherfucker be wanting a girl to submit to him or let him lead? You know what I'm saying? Fuck, man. You know, like you all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think you got to see what you got to see what's up with her. If I was you, I would kind of like, you know, I mean, not undivided attention, right? Y'all can do shit together, right? You know, me and Shorty went and saw Mission Impossible, and I would count that. You know, watching Tom Cruise's old ass shoot up the place. That shit was dope. You got to see what's up with her. You know what she feels like. Right now, the podcast, I wouldn't count that. We're not even in the same room. You know what I'm saying?
We have Ivan.
I'm spitting tonight, man. I know that much. Big Ivan, what up? Came up with 100.
I've been doing my own research on option selling while you and Greg put that class together. I'm selling at an 18 to 25 delta, getting a 1% to 1.5% premium. Doing it weekly, Monday to expire Friday. Is this similar to what you do, or am I being too aggressive?
Yeah. So, okay, no, I like where your head is at, Ivan, and I like that you research. There's actually tons of fucking good videos on YouTube about how to do it. I like to sell weekly options, right? So what I'll do is Friday night or Friday afternoon, and maybe Monday morning too, depending. Is like I'll sell options, and I don't really look at personally. I don't really look at the delta, the theta, and all that. I open up the charts, right? So I'm using what I'm doing is I'm using let me see if I can open up one for you. So I'm using where is it? So I use my technical analysis skills that I learned from like Romulus, and you know, so other shit that I studied. And I look at, so let's just say I liked Apple's chart, right? Let's just say I liked Apple's chart, and maybe I see, maybe I wanted to sell options over here. And so it depends. Like, do I actually want to stop to own it, or do I just want to sell a premium, get my money? You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is I might sell an option here, right? And I might just find, looking at it, okay, it looks like it has some support. Like around here, around 91, it looks like it might have some support there. So maybe I'll sell an option. I'll sell a put underneath that. But if it gives me a certain percentage, so I'm looking on a certain percentage of my money, I'm trying to make at least 1% per week off the money I make. You know, off the 1%. Yeah, I'm trying to make a 1% off it. Forgive me if I'm going into too much detail, but it looks like we have support around here for Apple, right? Or 94, it looks like, right? So maybe I sell at 94 or below, and one or two things happens. Either it's going to go, I'm gonna get the premium. Let's say I can get the 1%, right? Let's say the option is right. I get the premium, and if it goes above my strike price, then I get the money back, right? Because it's going to hold the money as collateral. That's one thing. It is going to hold the money as collateral, right? I'll get the premium, but it'll hold my cash as collateral, right? 100 share, whatever 100 shares. So what would that be? So 90, what I say, 194 times, boom. So it will hold like 19K as collateral, right? But I still get the premium, all right? And let's say I got my 1%. So I would get like almost $200 in premium, boom, and the brokerage will hold my 19K as collateral, right? And what happens is, if it goes above my strike price, then when the option expires, I just get my collateral back and I keep the premium. I made $200 doing nothing, right? If it goes below it, it hits my strike price or below, okay, now I have to buy the stock for that price. It's gonna take that money and but I still kept the premium. And if Apple was a fucking stock that I wanted to hold, that I wouldn't mind holding anyway, it's all good, right? So I kind of, even the stocks that I hold, I never like buy them, just straight up just buy stock. I always sell premiums against them, you know? So one or two things are going to happen, you know, with that. I'm just looking to get 1% on my money. I'm trying to get 1% of my money per week. And I try to pick a stock that I don't mind getting assigned, right? I don't mind owning it, because if it goes lower, if it goes low, I'm gonna get it, or I'm just gonna make the money. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's the reason I like it, because if I was gonna buy it anyway, I'm just buying it for cheaper than it is now later, if that makes sense. And I get paid a premium to do it. That shit might have been super confusing for the majority of y'all. That's why you got to join the Discord, because me and Greg gonna put out the free options. Selling option courses. Everybody's buying options. We're talking about selling options, which is different. Hope that was helpful. It might, I don't know. I understood it, but I hope you did.
Greg's in here. He also said, well said, Brandon. And he was commenting as well.
Nice. Try me personally. I'm trying to get 1% every week. No, Blackjack Mastery, back at it.
Back. I watch Baller Mindset weekly. I'm on level 2, comfortable.
All right.
Working hard to get to level 3. Balling so assets cover expenses. What would your daily Facebook budget be for 5 lead magnet ads for $199 product?
You're gonna have to get more data, man. You're probably going to spend some money now, and then you can find out how much a lead is worth. So what's going to happen, Blackjack Mastery, is you're going to start getting some clients. Like, some people are going to buy. Okay, what's going to happen is it's all math, right? So you might get, I'm just throwing shit out. Let's say you get 1,000 clicks to your website, right? Right. Let's say you get a 2% conversion rate. Boom. So you got like 20. You got 20 leads, right? And let's just say it costs you, and then out of these 20, every 20 leads, one person buys, right? One customer, right? So then we do, and then your price for your product is, what do you say, 100, 199? Boom. All right. So in this scenario, you know how much your leads cost, right? How much? So now you know that every lead is worth $9.95, right? So you can now you can spend that. You can spend up to $9 per lead, right? So you optimize your ads for leads, right? Or you can do it by clicks, right? If these numbers hold, if you get high enough sample size, right, and these numbers start to hold, you need more data than this, right, to really make a fair assessment, right? But with this data set, you know what I'm saying? Right? So you can pay up to 19 cents a click, right? If this was the math, right? But you're going to need more data to know this, right? So you got to find out how much a lead works, like how many leads you need to get a customer, and then you'll know how much a lead is worth. Then you can start working backwards once you have the money. You know what I'm saying? Once you have the data. But right now you don't know. You just got to throw a bunch of money at it to start getting some data. And then you work on optimizing this. Right? You start getting on making the leads worth more. But first you need to figure out what it is. Like how much. So a lot of people I know, if they got deep pockets, they'll just throw a bunch of money at the ad. And as soon as they get data, they start optimizing like this. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we can work with these numbers. Boom. You know, maybe you optimize for leads, and you don't want your cost per lead to go over. You want it under $9. If your cost per lead is $9, you're going to make 90 cents off each lead. 95 cents off each lead, right? So then you can just work backwards. How much money you want to make? It's all math, baby. It's all math. It's the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I just realized it's 9:00. Are there any more super chats that I need to address real quick? I'll try to rapid fire.
You want to do rapid fire?
Yeah, I'm gonna rapid fire these super chats.
All right, we have this one. Will you ever get White Boy Brian on the podcast?
Oh, he's back in New York, man. We should get him to talk about sales because he's become like a really good salesperson over the years. He runs my sales team. He's crushing it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. Next time he's in Miami.
Income tools. I'm using the Turtle Emergent strat with sales and I'm learning a lot, but feel like I'm not getting it all. How do you keep up with what you learn?
You'll get it. Just keep going. It's like I talked about that last week. 7 days is not a long enough sample size to make a fair assessment of the effectiveness of the strategy. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up, man. You'll get it. It'll start to click. You'll know it'll start to click. The game will start to slow down for you at like day 90. You know what I'm saying? Like do it for 90 days. You know what I'm saying? I promise you this shit will slow down. The game will slow down for you. You'll get it.
We have Mark.
Hold on. Income tools. It's the same way you learned fucking English, right? Or whatever language you speak, right? You just heard it a bunch of times. You didn't hear it for a week and knew it, right? It's like that's what the total emergence strategy is, the same way you learned your native language, right? So it's gonna take some time, but it's the same shit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then we have Mark.
Big Mark.
I just started online personal training and I have 5 clients for free. 5 essential tips for me. I'm
not going to give you 5 tips, but I will tell you one thing you want to do is I'm going to give you one strategy. Make sure those clients get great results. Like hit them up every day. They need to be tracking their workouts, and you need to see every day how many calories they consume in their macros every day, and then you need to check in with them every month. Right. So you need to be basically talking to these people every day. They got to see it and they get great results. Right. And once they get great, if you get those guys great results over the course of a month or, 90 days, then you want to make sure you use them as testimonials to get your paid clients. If they're fat, you'll be able to get them results in a month because fat people, the fatter you are, the faster you lose weight. So this is for anybody listening. If you want to get some personal training clients, train the fattest motherfucker you can find for free, right? And he'll lose weight super fast that first month, and then use him as a testimonial to get more clients. All right, this has been another episode of Victory Talk, man. We killed it. I was spitting this one. You might want to watch this one again. I felt really good about my performance today. I felt really good about it. Watch this one again. Join the Discord and download Baller Mindset. Let's get it.